so it needs a lot of room to do that. For measuring
100 in each.
and in the meat.
And we're gonna, I think I...
Here's the tea of my situation. Twice in a row, I've been kicked out of my apartment. So you could say in a way that I am traumatized. In my last apartment, as I explained in this video, I got kicked out for no reason, for basically being a human and living in the apartment I paid for on time. It's a long story. And then the apartment I lived in before that, the owners decided to have a child, and that child decided to have a child, and now their child is moving into my apartment with their newborn child, so the parents can help out with the child. So that wasn't technically my fault. So I want to stay here for a good while and not be kicked out again. My landlord is coming over tomorrow to look at the apartment because he just wanted to see how I'm settling in, how the apartment looks when I have decorated it compared to the last one. I don't know. So I'm gonna make this visit awesome for two reasons. Number one, I don't want to be kicked out again. The other one, he recently lost his wife. Yeah, and I feel really bad for him because he's a really sweet and nice old man. And I'm gonna make him some awesome vegan cinnamon rolls. Cause what says I'm sorry for your loss than pastries? Eat your feelings. I have gotten an insane amount of compliments on my vegan cinnamon rolls. Why not make a video out of it and I can show you how to make the best freaking cinnamon rolls you have ever tasted in your entire life. Not an exaggeration, my mother told me so. So let's get to baking. First we need a bowl. I'm going to use this big boy because the dough is going to expand, so it needs a lot of room to do that. For measuring, I have all my ingredients here. Melt the butter. So we're going to start with the dry stuff and mix that first. 1 liter of flour. Then we have 1 teaspoon of salt. And then 3 of these with yeast. 1, 2, 3. And then there's 1.5 deciliter of sugar. And there we go. So now we're just gonna mix all of the dry ingredients together. Let's do some math. So this should be kind of simple math, right? Half, I would say, is here. So that's 300. That is 100 in each. And I need 150. And since I have a bit here, I'm gonna go, there's half and then like there. So I will need this chunk of butter. I would like to thank the Academy for teaching me how to do simple math. Now the butter is going to just stay there and melt, and in the meantime we need 4 deciliter of milk. Oh, I'm one lucky duck. Yes, I'm using a knife, don't judge me. Now we're gonna take this butter and pour it over to this thing. Maybe you shouldn't like put hot stuff in the plastic and, you know, take your own precautions with your own life, but I say YOLO! Okay, we have our dry ingredients and we have our liquids. So what we're gonna do now is just pour this over and then stir, 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 and then we need to start using our hands. So make sure that you have washed your hands. Let's do this. Just make sure to get all the flour on the side mixed in. It's a bit wet, but that's fine.
and then wash your hands. So for this to expand properly, we are going to cover it with some cling foil. And we're going to put it in room temperature and let it sit there for a while. We're actually going to let this sit and expand for 24 hours. Yeah.
The next day.
Good morning. We're now going to see how the dough has been expanding over the night. I'm actually really excited. I haven't looked yet. Let's see.
Hello, gorgeous.
As you can see, I made 2. The reason for that was I knew that it was going to expand, obviously, because I've made this many times before. But I wasn't sure that it was going to be enough. My best friend that is coming here later in the evening, she loves cinnamon buns. So I was just like, I don't know if this is going to be enough. And I also kind of want to give my landlord some to take home if he wants to. That's why I made a second batch, which is this one. But now we're going to form these beauties into cinnamon rolls.
Okay, we have the dough. Let's see if we can get some nice ASMR. Looks like spaghetti. Get out of there. Usually everything just lets go when I turn it upside down. However, I think I use maybe a bit less flour than I should. So it's more wet than usual. We're gonna take some more flour and just drizzle it on top. A lot of flour. Okay, now we're gonna start, as we say in Norway, the knawing. We're gonna knaw the dough. Like so. Oh, this feels so nice. I think I'm gonna just split the dough in 2. Now we got a roller. Is that what it's called? A roller? If the roller is sticking to the dough, that is not good. And that means you need more, you guessed it, flour. So we want it long and thin. When I had made all of the cinnamon buns, I'm gonna let them stay in the oven without any heat on, and that's gonna make them expand a bit on their own. Well, one of the best tips I can give you is just don't get impatient, because it's gonna take a bit of time to get this as flat and big as it needs to be. These are just really annoying me right now. Now we're gonna take a knife and some butter and spread it on. Every drop of butter counts. The trick here is to not be sparingly with your butter, just lap it on there. The more butter you put on, the less dry the bun will be to eat. And nobody likes a dry bun. Okay, I'm gonna start with the cinnamon. Lightly drizzle. We don't want too much cinnamon either, because that's also going to contribute to dryness. That's enough for now. Sugar. Now we're going to take a butter knife again and then start cutting strips. And then I'm doing this on the bench. This is not a sharp knife, okay? No marks will come of this. And I'm just like lightly splitting the dough. And then I'm just gonna do that with the whole piece. I think somebody put a curse on my tripods or something, because the amount of bad luck I've had with tripods. Great. I regret my decision of wearing black today, but I am nearly done. Now that everything is lined up beautifully, we're gonna start rolling it. So you just wanna grab one end and then start to roll in. And don't apply a lot of force, just roll it very lightly. And here you have a little cinnamon bun. And then every time we've made a little bun, we're just gonna put it on the tray, like so.
1, 2, 3, funk it.
Ta-da! And it doesn't matter if they're in different sizes, because we all come in different sizes and are in different stages of life. The trick now to make them exquisitely, amazingly awesome is to do this. So this is what the bun looks like close up. Salt the bun with butter, essentially. If you're wondering if it's too much, then you apply just enough. And then we can take some cinnamon and some sugar. Doesn't look very pretty. Like, these look prettier, but I promise you they're gonna taste so good. And the buns are done. Here is the pastry goodness. So I just made the other part of the dough I had off camera. These have already started to expand. So my landlord is gonna be here in about 3 hours. So I'm gonna let these just stay in the oven to expand even more. And I will show you how big they are before I actually start to bake them.
A few moments later.
The oven is heating, and here they are. Look how much bigger these have gotten. Except for that one. I don't know what happened to that one. But look how much bigger these are now compared to what they were when I just plopped them on here.
A few inches later.
So my landlord was just here. He stayed here for an hour and we just chatted about everything and nothing, the neighborhood, and he loved the cinnamon buns. They were a great success. He bought me flowers. That is so freaking sweet. Look at them. And they're pink too, which is my favorite color. He's such a nice man and I'm so freaking happy to have him as my landlord. It's good to have a nice relationship with your landlord, you know, after the demons I had to deal with for a year in the last place. And also in future video news, he gave me permission to do something with the bedroom. So you should subscribe and you should definitely be excited for what's coming next for the apartment renovation, because the bedroom is gonna look heck of a lot different very soon. And on that note, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!